What's going on, YouTube? We're back with another weekly challenge in Phasmophobia called Deja Vu. This one is going to bring you back in time to when Phasmophobia first started in 2020. When there was no sprinting, there was only 12 ghosts in the game, although you're going to have all 24 ghosts in the game for this weekly challenge, so it's not going to bring you that far back. But there was no dot projectors or anything like that. There was only one weather condition. It was rain. So we're going to be going and doing this real quick. It's going to be taking place on Tanglewood, so let's go ahead and see what we have in store for this weekly challenge. One of the things I love about this is, as a player from 2020, when I first started Phasmophobia, it gives me an opportunity to kind of just think and be nostalgic about where the game came from and how far it's come over the past 5 years, which is pretty far. The interesting thing about this challenge is all the asset models you see for the equipment here, they were all in the game back in 2020. There was no tier system back then. They have come up with tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Everything tier 3 was new and customly built because it had to be like technologically advanced and looked cool. So this all used to be what we saw in the van back then. The van wasn't like it was right now. It was like an old van. You can look up photos of it if you want to. It was a van and it had a bunch of shelves. It was very rustic looking. And to be honest, I kind of miss it. This is a nice van and everything, but the old van just kind of hits different. But let's get started here. Let's grab a flashlight. Actually, you know what? We're not even going to grab flashlight. Why? Let's grab the tier 2 UV, because I find that tier 2 UV is going to be providing well enough light to light up this whole challenge for us. We're going to grab thermometer and EMF reader to help us find the ghost room. Before we get started with this weekly challenge, let's just talk about what you can expect as far as settings. You have no players sprinting, so this is as fast as you're going to go. You have to be very aware of that. Make sure you're keeping an eye on your sanity, because you really don't want to let the ghost hunt if you can help it. Because although there is hiding available, sometimes it's difficult to get to a hiding spot when you can't sprint, because it's something you're not used to. But you do have incense as well, so if you have to repel and get to a hiding spot, no big deal. You have 100% starting sanity. You have no player startup timer, so everything is going to start draining quickly, so make sure you go on in there and get the power on as quickly as possible. The ghost speed is going to be 75%, so the ghosts are going to be a little bit slower than you're usually accustomed to, so just keep that in mind in case you're wondering, why is that ghost not sounding as fast as I think it should? Probably because of that. As far as equipment goes, you're missing one big piece of equipment here. Only one piece of equipment, though, and that is DOTs Projector. So if you have any ghost here that has DOTs projection, you will not be able to get that. And as you can see, it's quite a lot of ghosts on your list here. So you're going to have to do a little bit of deductive reasoning and try to test out some of these ghost types in real gameplay like you would on Nightmare or Insanity. So, but you're going to get 3 pieces of evidence. That's the big thing here. 3 pieces of evidence will be acquired. So this is a very straightforward challenge. Let's get in there. Also, another thing I want to point out here is that you're going to have a guaranteed cursed object, which is going to be Ouija board. The reason for that is back in 2020, when Phasmophobia first came out, there was only one cursed object in the entire game, and it was the Ouija board. So, do we have power down here? We do. Let's get that on real quick. Ouija board, obviously, is going to be located down here in the basement on top of this little table right here. If you ever want to utilize that to find the ghost room, you can. Just remember to go back to the van and take some sanity pills so the ghost doesn't hunt you too quickly. Let's see what we got down here for temperatures in the basement. We have 9 degrees. That's pretty warm for the most part. Work our way upstairs. Remember, you're looking for the coldest temperature room for the ghost room. See bone here. We're going to grab that bone. I don't really do side objectives or get bones for weekly objectives or weekly challenges because it's only a 1x multiplier. It's more time effective to just get the challenge done, get your ghost and get out of there with 3 rounds. That's my personal opinion, though. If you really needed money and you really needed XP, you were a low prestige, then go for it. Go for your objectives. Every little bit of money XP counts at that point. We're scanning each one of these rooms for the cold temperature. We got 11 degrees so far. 9 and 11 is what I've seen so far. Let's go check some of these rooms over here. And with any other game, you're always keeping your ears open to listen for any possible ghost interaction sounds. Here we go, 4.5. So this room is substantially colder than every other room we've seen so far at 4 degrees. It's below 5, so that's definitely going to be the ghost room. Any UV on this door just touched? There is not. Could it be Obaki that's hiding UV? Because it has a 25% chance to hide its UV evidence from you? Sure. But for right now, at least, we're going to say that we don't have UV, and we'll go from there. I'll double check later on for UV again for Obaki. Let's go get more stuff from the van. And get this light on, too, because I want to have a nice well-lit area as I go in and out of this house, so that way I'm not losing any sanity as I go in and outside. Next thing I want to do is I want to grab a video camera to look for ghost orbs. I'm not even going to worry about bringing a crucifix in, because my sanity is only 90%, so I don't think it's going to hunt that quickly unless we have a demon. But since we don't have any UV, I don't think it's going to be demon, so I don't have to worry about that right now. We're going to bring our book, our spirit box, and our video camera inside. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So if I recall, I left this house with this door wide open, right? We walked out of that door. That door was open and now it's shut. There was no event. No event's going to happen when you're outside the room, or when you're outside the location, I should say, and you're back at the van. So if nobody's inside, the ghost should not be eventing. The only ghost that can shut the front door when it's not eventing or hunting would be the Yurei. And Yurei is a possible ghost on our list here. So let's play this out and see what happens. We think we may already know what the ghost is. This door is shut too. But we'll play it out. Taking a look for ghost orbs, because ghost orbs would be able to help prove our Yurei theory here. And at this time, I am not seeing any. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video camera here and go look in the van, because the tier 1 camera is so incredibly small that you might be missing it. It might be out of your field of view, but still in the ghost room, like orbs. You just want to double check. Let's do spirit box as well. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? There's that Yurei door slam again. And you were able to see there, you were able to hear it, that it had a double door touch. I mean, it had like 2 little clicking sounds, and then it shut. You heard the slamming shut. So that's exactly what the Yurei door ability looks like. Now that we think we have Yurei, let's double check freezing, because if we have freezing, that's another thing for Yurei. 1.5, we're so close. 1.5, 2.7. Delayed freezing is definitely a thing. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get that freezing temperatures than we would like. It can take several minutes to get down to where we need it to be. Going back to the van now, going to check those orbs on the video camera. Remember, I didn't see them when I was holding the video camera, but I'm going to see them maybe possibly if you look here in the van with the bigger screen. It's a tier 1 tripod, so we can't rotate it, unfortunately. And there we have it right there in the corner there. We have a ghost orb, what I believe I saw in the right corner there, just outside. Yep, right there. Right in the right corner, we do have a ghost orb, so that is our first piece of evidence. Now, if we do believe it's going to be Yurei, it's going to be dots, so we can get that. So we're really just looking for freezing temperatures just to double confirm what we have here. And to know that we don't have a mimic ability and the ghost orbs be fake, we would need spirit box. And we would need UV, because those are both evidence for mimic. So if we get UV or spirit box, we know for sure that we automatically have mimic, because that is not evidence of a Yurei. So we can go back in there right now, double check for spirit box and freezing temperatures, though I don't have any UV, so it's not really necessary. But just for the sake of the tutorial and an educational gameplay here, we might as well do it anyway. Plus, I got to go look for the freezing temperatures. And remember, freezing temperatures is another piece of evidence for a possible mimic. So we're getting our way back in here. Looks like the ghost turned off the light, so I'm going to turn it back on. Temperature inside this room is going to be... Oh, we got a ghost up. That's not good. That is not good. We gotta go. We gotta go. Remember, the ghost speed is 75%. So this is 75% normal ghost speed right now that you're listening to. See how it sounds so incredibly slow? It almost sounds like a slow twin or a Hantu. But this is just the sound of a ghost when it's 75% speed. The hunt is over. I'm very surprised we survived that. I'm not gonna lie. That was so close. Thank goodness I shut the door behind me, because it like broke line of sight for a second for me to get a little bit away. And there we go. We got freezing temperatures, negative 0.6. We do have freezing. Do a quick spirit box here. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? Are you scared? Are you sad? Where are you? Nothing on spirit box. So with it not being spirit box and not having UV, I feel very confident about this not being mimic and mimic ghost orbs. I think it's going to be a regular old Yurei. We saw the Yurei Doris ability now twice. Technically, we only saw it once, but we saw it twice because when we went outside and we went back in, the front door was shut. There's no way that could have happened otherwise. So let's go ahead and lock in Yurei. And don't forget, the Mimic has the ability to change ghost types every 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So if you're seeing a lot of the same ghost abilities over and over and over again throughout the round, more than likely it's not the Mimic anyway. Yurei, number 1 is done. Let's go and get round number 2 for Tanglewood. Back at it again. I think I want to do the same exact setup. I like the UV glow stick for light. I like to have thermometer to check for temps and the EMF reader to see if it interacted with anything. It's crazy to think, too, that back in 2020, like, there was no other weather effects besides light rain. That was the only one they had. There was no snow. There was no sunrise. There was no clear weather. It was just really just rain at first to kind of give that, like, horror vibe. And it did. It did definitely give that horror vibe back then because we didn't know what to expect. There was no other game like Phasmophobia back then. I do kind of wish they would be able to take the Deja Vu challenge a little step further and give us the opportunity to play the old Asylum map they took away. I think like if they can bring that back for just 1 week during the Deja Vu challenge, it would give people a real appreciation for how far the game has come and to see how the maps have evolved. But to be fair, it's probably very difficult to make that happen because it's hard to bring stuff back from an old save file or an old update. Down here in the basement, we have 8 degrees, 11 degrees, so a little bit colder, mostly normal. Let's go ahead and go upstairs. Remember, if you have tier 2 thermometer here, you can hold down your right click button. It'll keep populating for you. You don't have to keep refreshing it on your own. You can just hold down the right click and it'll populate that temperature for you every few seconds. Here, we're looking for a colder temperature. Something like last round we saw 4. Here we go, 4.9 again. And we got Bone right here too. Bone inside the ghost room. Look at that. So we have a garage ghost, 5 degrees in here. Leave this here. Leave this here as well. Go get whatever we need in the van. Video camera, spirit box, book writing, etc. Come back inside, get some lights on to preserve the sanity. I feel like a lot of players, especially newer players, they don't take their sanity into consideration too often. Really turn on those lights in rooms that are not the ghost room. So that way you have that ability to preserve your sanity when you're going in and out. It really does make a big difference. Grab this, this, and this. It's funny, too, because back in when Phasmophobia first started out, there was no sprint. But shortly after that, like in 2021, they had added sprinting to the game, and there was no stamina either, so you were able to sprint pretty much forever. You were able to outrun almost every single ghost in the game except for the Revenant. And back then, the only ghosts that had existed in Phasmophobia were everything you see on this left column here, 1 to 12. So there's only 12 ghosts in the game. And the only ghost you couldn't outrun was the Revenant. So it was like the king of all scary ghosts. And to be honest, it probably is a king of scary ghosts today, too. Although now you have things like Deogen and Faye and Yurei, and they can be scary in their own right as well. Checking for any Orbeez. Although we know how difficult it can be to find orbs with this little tiny camera, so we'll have to put it down if we need to. I see my breath inside of here. That means it's 5 degrees Celsius or less inside of this room, which typically means it's the ghost room if it's not snowing. Oh, we got a singing event. And the door got shut because of the ghost event, not because of a Yurei door slam that time. Howdy. That's a big thing to note. When a ghost event's nearby, it can turn off nearby lights and shut nearby doors. So make sure you know the difference between an event but a possible ghost ability so you don't confuse yourself. Okay, so even if with the event shut, there would be no UV on the door if there was going to be any. We do have book writing, so that's one piece of evidence there. All right, so that limits down a little bit. Let's go and see if we have Spirit Box. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? Are you scared?
Tragic killing.
Tragic killing. Are you nearby? Are you hungry? Well, if you don't know what that ability is, that is the Deogen unique response that it can only give if it's 1 meter away from a player. That is a very rare response indeed. Especially to have a room a little bit bigger like this. If you're in a smaller room, it's so much easier. Like if you're in a bathroom, so much easier to get 1 meter away from a Deogen, but to have got it here that quickly, that's awesome. So you know what? Since we have a Deogen, let's go get that Ouija board and go see that deal. Let's go walk our deal. Why not? You gotta walk your deal. I feel like it's your duty as a ghost hunter to walk your deal every single day. We're gonna grab our Ouija board, ask it a couple very important questions that we all need to know desperately. Bring it up here to the kitchen. Get Mr. Potato as well, because I feel like he needs to see this. Come here, Mr. Potato. Do you like potatoes? Oh, come on. How do you not like potatoes? All right, well, what do I ask now? Do you like me? Didn't like me either. Do you think I'm pretty? S-A? Sad? Oh my God, it thinks I'm so ugly, it's sad about it. This is just, I'm getting roasted by this ghost right now. Okay, all right. The ghost is invented on top of us. If that Ouija board breaks, this ghost could spawn right on top of us here. This ghost is getting ready. Move it a little further away. I'm getting a little nervous right now. How many people have you killed? 1. It's only killed 1 person. That's not bad, actually. Okay. I was expecting more. How many people have pooped in this house? They didn't want to answer that. Let's see. Are you the DO we think you are? It sure is. Look at it slowing down as it gets closer and closer to us. That is our Deogen. We're going to take our little Deo for a walk. 75% ghost speed Deogen as well. So it's a little bit slower than usual. It'd be a lot faster at a distance like this. But you can definitely tell that 75% speed makes a big difference. We're going to lock in Deogen, and round number 2 is basically come to an end after this hunt is over. I gotta say, the child ghost model is so creepy to me. It's hard to loop too, because it's hard to see, especially when it's crawling. You can't really see it at all when you're trying to loop it around this countertop when it's crawling. Gonna start making my way towards the front door. Come on, Ghosty, let's go. Come on. And it's done. Let's go out the door. Saving the potato, bringing it back to the van with us. Hello? I think the ghost is vented as we walked out the door. It's like, wait a minute, don't go. I didn't mean what I said about the potatoes. It's too late now, ghost. You've hurt my feelings. All right, we're going. Let's get out of here. Deogen locked in. Round number 2 completed. Let's go.
Welcome back.
Love to see it. We need to do one more round, everybody. One more round to complete this weekly challenge. Although I will let you know that I've already completed this weekly challenge. On my Twitch channel, I do the weekly challenge live every 8 p.m. Eastern time, the moment it resets on Sunday. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time every Sunday. We do the weekly challenge live the moment it releases for all the Phasmophobia public to see. So if you ever want to tune on in, it's _rotatorchip at twitch.com. Let's do it. Number 3. Same loadouts, working out very nicely for us. And notice we haven't even had to take any pills or anything. We haven't needed any repels. We haven't needed a crucifix or anything like that. So for the most part, this is a very nice and simple weekly challenge. Going on inside. Another thing I have to think about when I'm thinking about like nostalgia Phasmophobia thing is way back when there was a time in Phasmophobia's history when you were able to hide behind doors and the ghost didn't know you were behind a door if you hid behind it. Door hiding. That was an odd time in Phasmophobia history because it was like a god spot. Every single map had a god spot behind a door. Now, if you hide behind a door, the ghost is programmed to check behind the door every time it walks by one. So it's going to know you're back there for sure now. All right, what do we got going on here for Tempe's? 9.8. I do love Tanglewood too. It's just such a great map, and I'm looking forward to the Tanglewood rework later on this year. I hope they're going to do it justice. If they just keep the same format and the layout of the map and just make it a little bit more detailed with some better assets and some different models to make it look more happening, I would be totally happy with that. I'd be very, very happy with that. 11 degrees, 9 degrees. Check master bedroom here. 9.1 in here. I haven't heard any interactions yet. Let's see what we got going on in the nursery. Nursery is very warm as well at 10.4. 10.4. Check and see if we got a bathroom ghost taking some spooky dookies, some creepy peepees. And nope. Flush it down anyway, just in case, because the ghost can't flush itself. Oh, we got a pelvis inside this room, inside the boys' bedroom. Picking that up. Pretty warm in here, too. So I think it's either going to be a basement ghost or maybe a garage ghost. I don't know if I checked the garage yet or not. I think I did check the garage. Let's check the basement, then. 3 degrees down here. So it is a basement ghost. Cool. Let's leave this here because the ghost has an opportunity to leave fingerprints on top of a cooler. And we'll go back and get our video camera, our book, and our spirit box. Remember, spirit box has to be done inside of the ghost room when the lights are turned off. Your flashlight can be on. You could have like player lights, but you can't have lights on in the room, like a light bulb or a light switch, nothing like that. They have to be on. You have to turn all that stuff on. All right, let's get a spirit box, book, and video camera. Also, before we go back inside, we do have tier 1 head camera here. So if anybody is doing this multiplayer and you want to wear tier 1 head cameras, you can turn that on. One person could be a van princess and look through everybody's head camera and see if you have orbs through that. You don't have to use the video camera if you don't want to. I prefer the video camera personally because it's stationary. But when you're looking on top of a player's head camera, it looks like an odd angle. But that's just me. You can do whatever you would like. See if we have any Orbeez down here. Taking a very close look. I don't see any at a first glance. I do obviously see my breath because it's cold down here. And I'm going to leave this video camera in the corner, looking left and right so we can see both. Book going down. Let's check Tempe's. 3.7. Where are you? I heard it throw something. I think I'm going to go check for UV or EMF on that. EMF 3 on the throw. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? Are you scared? Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you want me to leave? Are you nearby? Are you far away? Can you speak with me? Are you behind me? Are you French? Are you Italian? Are you also a potato? Nothing on Spirit Box. Let's get rid of Spirit Box as an option. Remember, since we're on professional or have 3 evidences in general, you could go ahead and just eliminate your evidence like this. If you're on Nightmare or Insanity, you can't because it could be hiding that evidence. Oh, I did hear a tap on this cooler. We do have UV. Look at this. There is UV right there. We have UV as a first piece of evidence. Tapping that over and over and over again. It is beating this cooler like it owes it money. We got 3.6 Celsius in here. No freezing temperatures as of yet. And no writing in the book yet either. Think it's time to go back to the van. Go check for orbs at a bigger screen. That's better than that small, tiny camera. Maybe bring in a crucifix. Oh, just turn off the breaker. So it can't be Jin. Jin can't turn off the breaker, as we know from our no evidence gameplay. So one less ghost we have to worry about. If you're ever inside of a room where the ghost isn't giving you possible UV, like it's not touching doors, not touching coolers, not touching light switches, you can always bring in salt, put down salt, let it walk through salt to see if you get UV footprints. We don't have to do that here because we got UV already, but that's an option if you wanted to use it. Let's go to the camera. Do we have any orbs on this video camera? I don't see any from this particular angle. So I think for right now, anyway, we can say we possibly don't have any orbs. So that's gone. So Demon, Myling, or Goria. Freezing temperatures would be Demon. Ghost Writing would be Myling. And EMF 5 would be Gorio. Dots, I can't get dots, unfortunately. Okay. We'll have to see what happens here. I'll bring in another book. I'll bring in a crucifix, and I'll bring in an incense and an igniter that's not going to take up an inventory spot. That's right. We can carry 1, 2, 3, and an igniter. Objects in our inventory. Let's get back in there. Probably going to flick the breaker back on as well so I can see. I don't remember if the breaker was inside the garage. I think it was. Yes, indeed. Breaker back on. Lay it on downstairs as well. Oh, we got a breath event. That event right there would mean that it's not an Oni. Oni is not a possibility for us this round, but it's good to note for your future gameplay in case you're ever curious. The Oni is just not capable of doing that one specific event. Second book going down. I'm going to have 1 book in the front, 1 book in the back, and if it's going to be Demon or Myling, I could write either one of them if it feels so inclined. Checking for temperatures again. And we got 2.2, so no freezing yet. Wonder if it's going to be very stubborn EMF 5. And for the heck of it, I may try Spirit Box again just because I'm just sitting here doing a whole lot of nothing. So might as well use our time with trying something out. Let's grab our Spirit Box again if we can find it. Where are you? How old are you? Are you angry? Are you scared? Are you happy? Are you sad? Where are you? Do you want me to leave? All right, so nothing on that either. Checking for orbs one more time. I'll walk it around a little bit this time, so in case it's maybe hiding behind one of these shelves. Don't see any orbs here at all. Okay. Want to keep checking the EMF on all the things it's throwing. There it is right there, EMF 5, because that's exactly what we're looking for. So it's either going to be Myling or Goria, one of the other. So Myling would be Ghost Writing. Goria would be Dots. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to get dots for Gorio because we don't have DOTs Projector for this weekly challenge. So it's either going to have to give us Ghost Writing, or we're going to have to do a little bit of testing to figure out Myling footstep sound. I'm going to take the Ouija board, I'm going to bring it upstairs, because we may end up doing a Myling footstep sound test. But in order to do that, I want to get my flashlight. I like to do a flashlight specifically for this because it's the easiest to understand. And once I get a flashlight to come back inside, I'll explain how it's all going to work for the Myling test. All right, I got my flashlight. So in order to do the Myling test, you want to get a decent distance away from where the Myling is going to be during the hunt. And you have to make sure it's on the same floor as you because you want to be able to listen if the ghost has quiet footstep sounds or loud footstep sounds. And you can't hear the ghost's footstep sounds accurately if it's not on the same floor as you. because if it's downstairs, it adds some volume to it, and if it's upstairs, it adds some volume to it. More of a muffled tone if it's downstairs, more bass if it's upstairs. So just keep that in mind. You have to do a modeling test on the same floor. So the ghost is going to come up the staircase, and it's going to be right there in that doorway. So I'm going to be all the way back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my flashlight on like so. If I can hear the ghost's footsteps and my flashlight is not blinking, it is not a myling. Because the myling footsteps are only going to be audible. You're only going to be able to hear them when your flashlight starts blinking. That's when the ghost is close enough to you when you're getting electronic disturbance. So that means that it gives you an idea of how close the ghost is to you to when you can start hearing their footsteps now. And that's why the myling is an interesting ghost, because it has quiet footsteps. You can only hear those footsteps close to you, not from far distances. So the flashlight disturbance is going to help give you a distance of how far that actually is. So let's cause a curse stunt to happen here and see if we can hear the footstep sounds without getting flashlight disturbance. Hide and seek. Here we go. We're going to count down. Of course it turns off the breaker. Why wouldn't it? Right in this pivotal moment too. Here we go. It's hunting now. Remember, the ghost is still in the basement. It's got to come up. I don't hear anything. I hear it now. I am able to hear the footstep sounds without getting electronic disturbance. It sounds like it's going towards the master bedroom. We have electronic disturbance now. Can still hear them, clearly. We're far enough away where we're not getting a disturbance, and I can still hear the footsteps. So it's not myling, it's Goryo. And that's pretty much it. It's as simple as that. It seems like a complicated test, but you really need to have that distance. And this is a very difficult test to do on Edgefield because Edgefield is so narrow. It's a very narrow map that it's hard to get any distance like that from a ghost in anywhere in the map. So just keep that in mind as well. Let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go with Goryo, and this should be the last round we need for this weekly challenge of Deja Vu. All right, Goryo locked in. Let's go. Let's see if we got it correct on this round. And we did. Goryo is the correct ghost type. Let's freaking go. Like I said, I've already done the weekly challenge live on Twitch when it happened on Sunday. So I'm not going to get that $5,000 and 5,000 XP like you will when you complete it for the first time. But hopefully this shows you how you can go ahead and tackle this weekly challenge yourself, either solo or with your friends, and I hope you enjoy it. Little bit of a reminder to everybody, we do have a new Phasmophobia update coming at the end of this month in June called the Chronicle Update. It is going to be changing the media system as we know it in Phasmophobia forever. So it's going to change the way that you get perfect games. It is going to require you to get photos, video evidence, and sound recording evidence in order to get that perfect game and make your gameplay hopefully well more rounded and just more engaging and more interactive overall. The new update for Phasmophobia will be dropping on June 24th, but you can guarantee as an official Phasmophobia content creator that I will be getting a little bit early access, so make sure you follow my Discord and keep up to date with me to know when I'm going to be showcasing this update earlier so you can get an idea of what to expect in your own gameplay. Till I see you all next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for 8,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. And until I see you all next time, stay crispy.